Well, the natural lifespan is probably between 100 and 120 years. That seems to be about what people can handle. It's true that in the United States and other established market economy countries, wealthy countries, we spend a tremendous amount of money at the end of life. Now, I'm one of these people who thinks that everybody's life is of equal value. The life of an 85-year-old is just as precious as a 12-year-old, and they're entitled to as many efforts to save their life as a younger person. And I don't think one can say that, well, you know, a 12-year-old or a 20-year-old, because they have so much more potential years ahead of them, is more valuable as a human being than someone who's 85. On the other hand, I think we have to be cognizant that when we spend money for health care, it should be for health care. Sometimes we spend money just prolonging the dying process, and that's clearly, I think, the wrong thing to do, not just from a financial point of view, but from a human point of view. If all we're doing is increasing someone's suffering and not really doing anything that can meaningfully prolong their life in a way that has value to them, then I think we shouldn't do that. But it sort of raises, I think, a larger issue, your question, about how we can make the population generally healthier. As everyone knows, it's been widely reported, you know, we spend more money on healthcare in the United States than any other country, but we don't seem to be the healthiest people on earth. We don't live longer than other people. In fact, we live less long than people in many countries. Infant mortality in the United States is higher than it is in many countries who spend less money on health care than we do. So I think we could be getting more out of the money we spend on health care. And one of the ways to do that is to think about public health approaches to improving the health of the population. I always like to point out that, frankly, the person who's done more for the health of New Yorkers in the last several years than anyone is the mayor. And that's because he's really made it so difficult to smoke cigarettes in New York. It's very expensive, and you can't do it in public. And smoking rates have dropped quite a bit in New York. You know, that's a good example of a public health approach to a problem. All sorts of things affect health, not just medicine. You know, legal things, economic things, cultural things, social things. All these things address health, impact health, and I think if we realize that, we'd get a lot more out of the money we spend on health care.